Hello, Cancer. It's your turn for your reading for the month of September. I'm late into it, but I'm going to do something a little bit different for your reading. Basically, the regular guidance messages, and then I'm going to do for the male Cancers, and then the female Cancers, and then a love reading, whether you're single or in a relationship. Alright. So, it looks like coming in, which we already started September, I do feel like Cancer, you want stability when it comes to love and relationship. I do feel like you're in a good spot to make potential changes in investments and long-standing transformation. That's bringing in a lot of balance for you, especially this month of September. I do feel like you've had a lot of highs and lows. I also feel like that a lot of changes, good, positive changes that are going to balance out. I don't know why that ethers. The entire year, I'm feeling. Something regarding a Taurus. You could be dealing with a Taurus or a Libra, especially with the Libra card there. But I feel like it's more about taking on the Taurus energy and understanding that you have a lot of needs, you have a lot of passion, a lot of drive this month. And I feel like that can be a challenge, especially when it comes to emotions. I do feel like you've been carrying a lot on your shoulder lately in how you want to move forward and how you want to invest long term career, possibly long term relationship, and long term things. But I do feel like for a long time you've been sitting on this thought of making forward movement, whether it's something that I feel you are strongly attached to, but also to you have a deep calling and a deep inner desire to move on something, to bring you out of maybe this hermit energy. I do feel like this is kind of a card of hermit. You could be dealing with a Virgo. So, I do feel like things are ending in a cycle when it comes to how you've been feeling. If maybe feeling stagnant, maybe feeling trapped, isolated. But I feel like once you go towards your passions, whatever that may be, when it comes to love, romance, finance, possibly, I do feel like it helps you unearth this this feeling of having everything on your shoulder. Maybe it's pressure. Maybe it's you want to move on something, but also too it's getting out of this harsh energy you put yourself into sometimes, where you don't feel safe. You don't still feel stable or solid. And like I said, I do feel like when it comes to love this month, there's a need to want stability in the long run. And I feel like a lot of you have been transforming, a lot of you have been evolving, and I do feel like there's maybe a tug on your heartstrings a little bit, but there's this hard time that you've been having. Maybe in August you had a decision that needed to be made that if you didn't make it, you would feel maybe stupid, or you feel like you have a lot to give in a situation that maybe in August it's the realization that maybe some things have to end, but not end completely. I just feel like you're in a period where you want to transform, you want to evolve. And maybe you've been in your head about decisions or things that bring you stability within your relationships or maybe career or finances, where I feel like the best thing you can honestly do is free yourself from weighing out the options, whatever those options may be, in regards to everyday life. And I feel like you're bringing in change this month. Whether you're empowering yourself, whether you're unearthing. And I feel like this is kind of a Leo card, but I feel like it's about you need to. And I feel like you've come to this place and this realization of unearthing matters of the heart, especially when it comes to your emotions. Um, they have been all over the place, but they also been in a good place where you're going after these. Uh, a lot of people may look at you like, why are you taking on this path? And you're changing yourself and evolving. But I feel like when it comes to the challenges with it, it's empowering, it's balancing you, but there could be some toxicity with it. But I do feel like you're embodying this earth energy that I feel like Virgo has helped you, or maybe a Virgo in itself has helped you, but that's beside the point. I feel like with the energy of Virgo season, I feel like it's helping you embody yourself and unearth problems in your life or unearth situations when it comes to your home life, your stability, your um, long investments. And I feel like when it comes to the love aspect, I do feel like you're in a very transformative time, that a lot of balance is from the universe is coming your way. And I do feel like also balancing out your emotions. Maybe there's a need to balance or for have someone to balance out these emotions. But I feel like if you don't pick your battles right, I feel like there's a lot of challenges with your emotions. And for some of you, it could be entanglements, getting involved in something that maybe a lot of people don't understand, but it is in some way balancing it out. But there's a need to look at something when it comes to these emotions and to reflect on, why are you feeling the way that you do. But also too, there could be some challenges or have been challenges because of how you feel with other people and entanglements, maybe in something involving a work situation. I don't know why Leo came to my mind. Probably because I was seeing the Leo card. But I feel like you're laying down a lot of these burdens in the month of, I was going to say October. Well, not even October yet. Maybe in something involving October. I don't know. But I do feel like going forward, you got a plan, you got an idea of where you want to go, but at the same time, it's getting out of this stuck feeling. And maybe it's about moving on. Maybe it's about regathering yourself to go fully on your passions. Because I feel like ultimately that's where you want to be. Ultimately, you want to be lit. You want to have a clear direction that maybe you don't have right now. But it's about um, using your abilities to tap into um, the right kind of frequency that you want to interact with and the right kind of connections and friendships. And maybe it has to do with career a little bit, like you don't feel like you're at the right place or you feel like you want to be somewhere down the road. So I do feel like a little bit of career. I do feel like there is some career option. I'm getting that for some of you. And there's a need to, regather your thoughts on a lot of situations that may be challenging your emotions this month. Alright, so what we're going to do next is Cancer Males. We have these cards for you guys. Alright, we have the Tower card, Strength card, Leo Capricorn, maybe you're dealing with. Alright, Cancerman. Alright, Cancerman, I do feel like there is a sudden thing, maybe it happened in August, maybe this month, that is going to give you strength to overcome anything, any obstacle. And I feel like the Tower card is here to tell you and to help you realize that it's bringing in a lot of changes. It's helping you to regather maybe your finances, regather things in your life. I do feel like there could be some havocs with it. But I don't feel like it's something to be afraid of or fearful. I just feel like it's about seeing your perception, because maybe what you're seeing or perceiving isn't clearly what you're seeing. But I do feel like there's a solid, I don't know why, solid relationship. Maybe you're investing into, and there's a new beginning with that person or situation, maybe a job or something. But I do feel like here there is a tower moment coming in, what you've been experiencing, that is going to bring in a lot of strength. For some of you, it could be involving third party situation, could be involving a child. I always see this card. Um, so maybe you're protective or someone's protected of you, that is going to bring in this change for you. But I feel like it's about seeing the perspective of it involving a child, maybe. That maybe you're afraid of this happening. With someone maybe you care about, but also too, I feel like with High Priestess and the Fool, it does bring in a good, solid uh, stability and relationship. So whatever that is to you guys. And then Cancer females, you have the World card, the Justice card, the Sun card, Emperor and Empress. Alright. So I feel like Cancer women, you see in reflection to someone else. You and them are the Emperor or Empress, or maybe you're dealing with that airy energy. I do feel like there is changes coming in for you. One thing that came to my mind is Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, possibly Leo you're dealing with, or Aries. So a lot of changes are coming in, and I feel like it's a I can't even talk. Universal change that's going to bring in a lot of balance and stability and a lot of happiness. It could be in regards to children. That's funny because the male Cancer had that too. So maybe some of you, you're dealing with a Cancer male or someone that has that placement in their chart. Maybe it's involving your son if you have a son. But I feel like with the Emperor and Empress, it's about getting control of things that's happening into your life, the changes, the investments you're placing in, maybe with you and another, and children or family. Um, or it's about recognizing that you take on the Emperor and Empress energy. I really do feel like that for you Cancers, females. I do feel like you have a lot of strength behind you, a lot of determination to make changes happen in your life that really make you happy. And I feel like it's about not stepping back down, but empowering yourself and another to take on this powerhouse couple. So maybe you're dealing with another person who mirrors what you want, or you feel like that, like they take on the Emperor or vice versa. So I do feel like a lot of change is involving you and another person. Like I said, it could be a child involved, it could be your own child, or something involving children and family for this month. So I'll put the cards down and get about love and relationship. I was going to do for males, or I'm going to do Cancers in general. So let me shuffle the cards real quick. For love and relationship. Do keep in mind this is a general reading. It may not apply to all of you, but those who feel like it applies to them. Alright, so we're going to do past energies, coming forward energy. Okay, so let's see. This is past energy. I'll do a little bit of forward energy and what to do now. And then overall energy. Try to shuffle this. Alright, so while I'm shuffling the other parts with my one hand. Alright, so past energy, I feel like maybe it was last month. Maybe things turned for the worse in some way, Cancer. But I feel like overall it gave you a sense of stability. Um, but this is love. So I do feel like when it comes to love, Cancer, I do feel like you were in a period where things were fine, things were balanced, pretty balanced out. But moving forward, I feel like the Four of Swords. So you've been on your guard for some time. There's a lot of things that it's about perception. It's about decisions that you need to make. Um, for some of you, whenever I see this card, I can't help tonight. It could be about pregnancy. It could be about something you're on the fence about or something you're on guard about. So I do feel like if that's a card going forward, there's a lot to look at. There's a lot to analyze. When I think of this card, I always think someone who has a lot of guard. Someone who's not sure on where they need to go. I do feel like, what are those flowers? They almost look like needles. Maybe you feel defensive, Cancer, because of a lot of things that happened recently with other people involving situations that you're unsure about still. And I feel like maybe that's really getting you in a defensive mode because you want to make the right choices. And I feel like it has to do with options when it comes to love. I mean, there could be more than one people involved. But I feel like for now you have the Six of Cups. So whether you're single or in a relationship, Cancer, there's a lot of love here. There's a lot to love that you have to give to people, whether it's two people, and maybe these two children are representation of that. You have maybe two people, or two situations, or feeling torn almost, where you don't know which well to put into. But I feel like it's what you need to be doing now is trying to figure out what you can do in the moment, um, not necessarily based off of what you're feeling, to get you in a more positive place mentally, physically, emotionally. Because I feel like a lot of times, or what you've been feeling for a long time until recently, is you feel like you've been giving so much of yourself in situations that you're not getting your returns back in some way. And I feel like maybe that's something you don't really tell people, but I feel like you've invested a lot of love and a lot of giving in a situation. But at the same time, I feel like you've given so much of yourself. And maybe you've been in a situation or a relationship, or it could be a job, never know, um, where you've given a lot in a situation. Maybe it's to two people, maybe two jobs. Maybe you have two jobs. And I feel like you've had some moments when you're cracking, where you're breaking, where you feel like, everything's on you to make these hard ass decisions in your life. But at the same time, I feel like you have to be real with yourself. Even though when it comes to emotions, you are ruled by your emotions, it's about understanding how to manage them. Because for a lot of Cancer, especially in love situation, we can overgive, overextend ourselves, and then we feel drained and depleted and feel like, we're running in the mud. So do watch out for that now, Cancers. But I feel like in the love situation, there was a time and a period where things were starting to balance out, but a lot of change happened. Maybe you weren't expecting it. Maybe something involving another person or your partner. I was thinking of that. Something involving your partner, for some of you, not all of you. That brought in a lot of change that you had to look at things differently. And it's not getting into, old patterns, old belief system. It's about not looking at those things, but understanding you're evolving the person you're connected with is evolving, whether it's a past soulmate, twin flame dynamic, or maybe what I've heard so many people say is karmic relationships, where they teach you different life lessons that maybe you have to experience over and over and over until you understand the lessons. Or possibly a soulmate where they're just here to teach you different lessons. But karmically, I feel like you are tied to someone. I also feel like there is new energy, whether that is new love energy coming to you or has been around you for a while, and I feel like you want something new. But also too, it's not the newness you want, it's the fact that, you've gone on this hard path for the last few years, that you've had to look at things from a different perspective. You've had to go in. You've had to see things maybe with a harsher reality, that maybe if things aren't working the way that you want them, maybe you need to go in a different direction. And it's not leaving a person or particular maybe job, but it's a situation that has been going maybe in your relationships, that you keep finding something, the same thing from your last previous relationship, or maybe your exes or something of that. But I do feel like there's a lot to look at when it comes to your love situation, because if anything, I feel like cancers have gone through pretty much the ringer when it comes to relationships. So looking more into the cards of what they're saying, I do feel like it's pretty much going within, looking at a darker aspect of yourself, going within and healing the past. Because I feel like whoever you're connected with in a relationship, you've known them for a long time, even though you just recently met them or about to meet them. That was a past soul connection. And once you've saw them, once you've met them, they illuminate things to you. Or maybe there was a person, maybe there was, maybe your ancestors or people associated with your family line brought you to this person in some way. So I feel like there was a time in the past you've met this person, and I feel like it's clear. It's clear on how you feel about this person. It's clear on how they feel about you. But I feel like you and them are both mirroring each other, and you see each other clear as day. I do feel like there has been some jealousy. So I do feel like it's either you or another person's jealous of your relationship, or there's a lot of contemplation, a lot of, not sleeping well at night. But I do feel like you've been maybe you've been writing a story about your love life or things that you've gone through. But I feel like there's been a lot of pain that you've experienced recently that wasn't easy. But I do feel like the worst is over, and I do feel like you are getting your justice, whether that's good or negative. I do see in a positive way. I do see with the Ten of Cups, the wish fulfillment card, the love that you deserve. I do feel like there's something involving a third party situation, friends or family dynamic. I do feel like for some of you, you could have been torn between a few people. But I feel like ultimately what you're going towards is true love and true connection. And you're putting a death to those things that aren't serving you. Whether it's connections aren't working for you, whether it's just the past love connections you've had with people, or just the past in general, that you're ready to move on, but I feel like something needs to end before you begin it. And with the lover card, it's not necessarily finding that person or having that person in your life. It's about recognizing you have a deep connection. It could be possible twin flame, which I'm still learning about it, but I do feel like it brings a lot of passion into your life. It brings a lot of stability within your life. And I do feel like there's been a lot of contemplations that you've had to look at with this person that's really got you in a different mindset than when you used to be. And I do feel like a lot of you have changed in a dynamic or a family or situation or a relationship where I think a lot of people look at you differently than what you have because you're evolving so much. And I do feel like for some of them, they're not ready for the changes. Maybe you're not ready for the changes. But I honestly do feel like Cancer, you've done a lot of soul searching. You've done a lot of heart to heart discoveries within yourself. And maybe it's about moving on in a clear perspective about what's coming and what needs to be revealed and unfold. Um, so it's about taking the risk. And a lot of you then doing that, a lot of you really seen that you have a lot of options and you have a lot of things to look at here in the future. But I think it's about when it comes to stability in relationship, when it comes to, you've been in a situation or a love situation where you've given a lot to it. And it's not the fact that you want to move away from it, it's the fact that you're evolving so much that things aren't looking the way they used to. It's not like you go around and want to break people's hearts. You just feel like you've evolved to this place where you see love for what it is and you want to go towards what you really love and really what makes you happy. And I feel like that's something that some people may not understand. So it's about what's pushing you to make this decision, these changes in your life. It's ultimately what you're feeling, and it's ultimately what's making you happy. So for some of you, and I feel like this could be for singles, you've been waiting on a love connection. You've been waiting for someone maybe to spark your interest, maybe someone to, I don't know why the word, turn your flame of fire. But yeah, you've been soul searching for someone to bring you ultimately happiness. Uh, but for some of you, you haven't made your decision, or you have. It's about weighing your options, and I feel like a decision needs to be made. But I feel like you're at this place, you know what you want, or someone said this about you. So you want to be fulfilled. You want someone that's loyal, who understands you, who's there for you. And someone who's not going to, I don't know why I'm getting this, give a shit. But someone who's gonna be brutally honest with you on how they feel about you. That they're not gonna hold anything back. They're just gonna be presenting you their love offer. And I think that's what it is. A lot of love to give. So I do feel like Cancer, someone has a lot of love to give to you. Someone has a lot of truth to be spoken to you, whether you're single or in a relationship. So I feel like they're coming with a lot of passion, a lot of drive and stability of how they're feeling. And they want to offer you a commitment, or you are in a situation where someone has offered their commitment to you. So it's about letting your guard down and taking the risk. So it's about not living in doubt, not living in fear, but being clear that with everything in life, there does come with heartbreak. It's not about, I feel like a lot of people, when they look at heartbreaks, they look at heartbreaks as, you're losing something and you're gaining something. I think it's about knowing that life is part of heartbreaks. Situations that may not have gone the way that they should or south. I think it's about for being true to yourself, realizing that with everything that you go through in life and every decision that you make, it does have consequences. But it's about understanding that, you know, in life there's going to be pain. In life there's going to be suffering. In life there's going to be things that may not go well. Especially when it comes to how you feel about love. And, that you value the cups, I'd say. You value the things you put the time and effort into. Maybe you feel like you wasted time and effort. So I do feel like it's mutual with someone else, that they are feeling the same way about you, um, in the relationship, or just someone in general. There's a lot that you're looking at, and there's a lot they're looking at with this potential heartbreak. And I do feel like it's involving a third party situation. Nobody wants to break each other's heart, but I feel like it's a lot. You've put a lot, and maybe they have too. And I do feel like that you both have put a lot of time and investment into each other, maybe years. And I feel like it's about seeing a higher perspective in the situation, that it's not you versus them or them versus you. It's about everyone coming together and seeing from a higher perspective. Not just changing your perspective, but coming from a truer a truer place in yourself, that you can truly be your authentic self. And you can truly come from a place of love and create the best life that you want. And I feel like it's about getting out of your head. It's about understanding that you don't have to fight these battles. And I feel like it's picking your battles with certain situations. So I do feel like in the near future there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of stability. I do feel like it's going to take time for things to grow. It's going to take time for things to evolve to where you would want them to be in a partnership or relationship. And it's about not juggling so much, but going for what makes you happy. Whether that, when it comes to how you feel about people and situation, going towards uh, the things that make you happy, even if it's getting in deep emotions for people. And I feel like in the past you've already spoken to someone about this, about your need to explore things within the surface and really go towards it. So I do feel like there's a lot of love that someone's offering to you, maybe from the past, or maybe it's within your past situation of coming up to you. And I feel like they want to help you on this journey, or you them. Because they know maybe you've put a lot of investment. Maybe they feel like you've wasted time with them. But I also feel like it hurts. It hurts you